So England got the 3 points and we all celebrated here, to be honest. It's only me. But before it was Gab McCutty, who for a while in the second half was falling asleep like everybody else, I feel. But then we just thought, yeah, get in. But I'm going to do an exercise with you, because by now you must have heard a lot of much more important and better equipped to talk about England people than me. But I'm going to do an exercise with you. The game was resolved in the last couple of minutes in an action, a corner. Take that away for a second. Imagine that it was only 1 minute of extra time and the result was 1-1. Because it will help you analyze the game a little bit better. Of course, Kane scoring a second goal means that England finds their feet and their way of playing, and they feel more and more comfortable with what the choice of a style. You've got a striker that can sort games out, and that's what Kane has done. But imagine for a second it finished 1-1. What did you see? Because what I see, like everybody else, was a first half in which England tried to get the ball very quickly up front. They beat the lines of pressure very easily of Tunisia. But I'm not sure if everything that England did in that first half was what they planned to. I'm sure that they wanted to build from the back a little bit more, have a little bit more control, but I'm sure as well that they must have been told, if you got the opportunity, pull the ball in behind, which is what they did. Far too often Walker, who is very uncomfortable in that position as a centre-back, did that far too early and really putting the ball anywhere instead of a ball that gets to the midfield and then you put it in behind. Benefited by a little bit of a chaotic first half, in which neither team had control really, but in which of course Tunisia defended really badly, especially the set pieces. That allowed England to go 1-0, the corner, and then a penalty that was soft, and it was not a penalty really, that made it 1-1 on penalties and VAR. Twice Kane got hold, and it was a clear penalty, a clear chance in which VAR to intervene, but they didn't. Do you really wanted to have VAR to finish with all debates and all controversies? Because I'm confused to when you can use it and when you cannot use it. But anyway, that's for another day. In the second half, Tunisia with 1-1, of course, they knew they had 45 minutes ahead of them to stop England, and they adjusted. They stopped attacking. There was only, I counted one arrival to the box or something from memory. That's what I remember in the second half. Not much. And of course, when that happens, every team gets into trouble. So if it had finished 1-1, people would say, oh, it's the same England as always. It's a team that lacks spirit. It's a team that don't have many ideas. But then the goal converts the analysis into something else. They've got a spirit, they've got ideas, they've got Kane. 1-1 gives you a better idea what was happening. And what was happening was that in the second half, England were not building properly. Tunisia defended very, very deep in numbers, and there was not enough actions in between the lines from the England players. There was not enough combinations. Everything was rushed. There was not enough patience. And that's what Gareth Southgate wants to impose, the idea that, all right, let's attack one way. If it doesn't work, let's attack the other. And there was not a lot of that. But because Tunisia were creating so many fouls, not so much around the box, but a few meters away, those were used by England to create chances, or to try to create chances. Set pieces was where the most danger came from England. Disappointing Dele Alli, because that's his role. Disappointing Lingard in that role, even though he had chances, should have converted them. Same with Sterling, had one clear chance in the first half. It's funny how these guys score so many goals with the clubs, but then not so much with the national side. Loftus-Cheek did much more than anybody else in that second half for England in the minutes that he was in, because he actually did one thing that as soon as he came in, he actually dribbled one player and drove with the ball and beat a second player, which England had not done at all. I don't think it's mental. I think it was difficult to actually beat a very compact defensive Tunisia. You've seen even Messi and Argentina struggling with that kind of football. You've seen Spain struggling at some point as well against Portugal when they defended deep. It's very hard to do that. You just have to be patient and insist. But also it's very important, those players that play behind the strikers, or those players that receive the ball for the last pass, to give the last pass, and there was not a lot of that. You have to recover Dele Alli very soon, because if he feels, that he's in the, that everything comes off for him, you'll see a better Dele Alli. Right now he must be frustrated. Lingard, I'm not sure that his role in there, I'm not sure he works well there. Perhaps they should look for somebody else in that position. And Loftus-Cheek had shown that he can come on and do something from the bench. So it was a decent performance. Even if he finished 1-1, it was a decent performance from which to build on. And they had the same spirit as if it had been 1-1, as if it was 2-1. It was a team that I didn't see anybody hiding. There was frustration, there wasn't much space, not much space created, that's the other thing. The number 10s, if you like, the ones in front of Henderson anyway, they struggle if there is no space, but you have to create it by moving the ball quickly. By Henderson beating lines of pressure quickly as well, that didn't happen. But they probably won't find many teams like Tunisia in the World Cup past the group stages, which after this victory, you should just say that England had favourites with Belgium to go through, of course. Panama being, with Saudi Arabia, perhaps the two of the worst teams in the competition. So, good all in all, and I'm going back to celebrate with all my friends here. There's nobody here. I may actually go down for one, just for one. See you later and enjoy yourselves.